Thanks for joining us back here at Wild Patch Homestead. Our family bought an abandoned property in southwest Victoria and there is a lot of work to do. So this week we're getting stuck into irrigation. We've got a windmill that needs some work. We've got tanks we're hooking up. We're trenching, and to do all of that, we have to pull fences down first. So we're going to bring you along for the journey. Tim's going to talk you guys through what he does. He is a qualified plumber and he's pretty handy.
Alright, today's job, I've got to replace the foot valve on the bottom of the windmill. When I fixed it recently, I didn't realise that the foot valve rubber had possibly let go, so unless the wind's up around the 15 to 20 kilometre mark, the windmill doesn't keep pumping. It's letting the more water back into the bore from the bottom of the windmill. So I've already tied the windmill up so it won't run. So I've got to pull it up. It's roughly 9 metres in the ground. So I've got to disassemble that and pull it out and put a new foot valve on. And then we're going to hook up the tank so we can start to fill the tank up and put in some of the irrigation for the gardens today as well from the tank. We're also hooking up the rest of the tanks from the small shed here, the big main shed, the house, and some little bungalows that we're doing as well. So I've got to try and get a list together, work out what I need, and start getting in some irrigation. And hopefully we can get the garden beds finished maybe this week or next week as well, so we can start to grow in the next roughly month. I think Steph said that we've got to get stuff in the ground, so that's our job today, is to try and get some water going. Alright, so what we've got is a length roughly 6 metres long of poly 1.5 inch poly pipe that comes down into the bore, and then roughly a 3 metre part as well, so that's how I know it's about 9 metres. And then at the bottom here we have a brass cylinder. I don't know what they're called, I've never really worked on a windmill before, but in here is what they do call leathers, which seal up the water to pull from the bore. So when the windmill's pumping, it pulls a 12mm rod that goes up the center of the windmill, which is this connecting rod here, and these are like a little cup that pull the water up continuously whilst the windmill is turning. And what is gone wrong here is this little valve here they call a foot valve. The rubber in that is let go basically, so it's allowing water to come back down into the bore, whereas it should pull up through. It's like a one-way valve. It should pull up into this section here, and even if the wind isn't going, it should not allow water to drop down back into the bore. So I'm going to quickly replace this foot valve, one-way valve, whatever you want to call it, down there, and put it all back together. So you can probably can't see it there, but in there is a valve that has a rubber seat on it, so when the water comes up, that valve picks up. When the windmill pushes back down with the leathers, it pushes it back down and stops water coming through. So that is the bit that's failed. It's an old brass one, it's probably fairly old, I'd imagine. This is the replacement for it in poly. Even though I don't need to, I'll still put this back together with a bit of anti-seize so it doesn't seize up underwater, and makes it a little bit easier to get on and off. We'll also thread tape everything as well. That way it seals the thread and no water escapes from there. So it's all hooked back up. We've got a little bit of wind, so hopefully it'll work a little bit better now. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. But now we are coming into this T-piece at the bottom of the windmill here, and then bring some line up in some 25mm blue line and run a hook up to this tank over here. So people know what I'm doing there.
Yeah.
Because this valve's going on the post with a bracket.
Yeah.
And this is so far off. What I'm trying to do is put a slight little bit of heat roughly around where it's going to bend, so it's reasonably straight. And this kick here will then alleviate the pressure off of these fittings so they don't crack.
Oh, because that is a problem. Quite common problem, isn't it?
Especially in cold areas, these fittings, they're really good. This pipe's really good. The pipe will never let go, but the fittings, if you put pressure the wrong way on them in cold areas, they can crack.
Yeah.
I've replaced a lot of these fittings. So it's just trying to alleviate a little bit of pressure.
Tim's a plumber by trade, so kind of knows a little bit about these things.
Some days.
Some days. Hey, there's always something to learn.
So what's happening here is we got two outlets off the tank here. This one's going to come down here, run out to wherever it goes. It'll tee off. It'll go back that way to hook up to 4 other tanks, possibly 5. Each one of them tanks will have a valve on it, and then it'll go this way and across towards the gardens. And this will feed the water for the gardens. So what will happen is that if the 4 other tanks that we've got hooked up, if they are ever low, we can then use this tank to water the gardens as well as all the other tanks. So this will be a loop line through all the tanks. So the tank off the shed and this little garden shed that we're going to have will probably be our main feed for the veggie garden. But if this tank is getting too full or anything like that, we can just turn this valve on and turn the other valves off, and that'll then feed the veggie gardens as well. So we've got an option for 4, 5, 6 tanks eventually to feed the whole property basically, because this will have a couple of taps off of it as well. Alright, so this is our second outlet out of the tank. It is, this tap's valve, is going to come off quickly. I'll put a angle on there. That valve will then be approximately here somewhere, so we can shut this off as well, and then we'll have a T-piece in there with a brass tap that will go on somewhere approximately there, so we can use the tank water at any time, whether it be if you want to drink outside, because this is a bore water that we can drink, as we've said before. And then this T-piece, where it comes out the bottom where this tap is, will run through to the house for our drinking water. So this tank to the top is roughly 4 metres, so that gives us enough head pressure to be able to have drinking water at the house. If it's not quite enough, we'll install some sort of 12-volt pump as well. That's what's happening over here.
While Tim is doing measurements and things like that, I thought I would show you the compost. Because with these sideboards off, you can see, like, how nice is that? It actually looks like it's turning into compost. Hopefully, like, another flip, some water and air, like, it'll, you know, finish off really nicely in this bay. Excuse me, Noo-noos. Wait, don't eat it. No. This one had fish and like rabbit, like offal and stuff. This one composted so much quicker. I'm still waiting on my compost thermometer to arrive. They didn't have any in any of the hardware stores, so I had to get one online, so I actually think this one hot composted, it's looking a lot better. Like that looks wonderful. So I think the meat actually did a really good job. Got worms in it. Yay! That's a really good sign. Nigel, no. Alright, I'm going to leave it there with the compost until we get the tin up. I'm really happy with that. We reckon it's probably been 4 to 6, probably 6 weeks. I'll need to check things out in the calendar. But this one has the meat products that we put into it, like the fish and rabbit. It has got a slight smell to it still, but nothing like a couple of weeks ago. And I can't find any fish heads, nothing like that. But you can tell that there was definitely animal like products in that one. This one is really wet, so we get loads of rain here, and apparently this has been a drier winter than usual. That's why we have the roof over this, and even then enough water has gotten in that it's a bit sludgy. I'm hoping by flipping that and getting air back into it, it will do like even better. 4 to 6 weeks is kind of my goal now, to have that middle bay done. But I really need to hustle. I need to get the other 2 finished, and then I can start these 2 bays again, and I need us to get into a really good routine of that. The cattle are no longer on our land, so I need to go pick up all of their manure and get that composting, and then I'll have a chat to the bloke that runs them now on our neighbour's property, and I'm sure he won't mind if I go over there and pick it up. I mean, there's horses and a donkey and I think it's a mule actually across the road, sheep everywhere. Like, I have an abundance of animal manure, it's not a problem, but it is fantastic for this compost. So anywho, that's where I'm at with the compost. I know, I feel like I'm talking about it like every episode lately, but it's just a big part of my life at the moment. All right, let's get back to the water tank.
So this is the inlet for the tank. So this pipe, the blue line pipe, that's going to come up the side here, and this will go in the tank. So I just got to pull the lid off the tank and get this male part through so I can screw it on, and it's got 2 rubbers that seal it on here so it tightens up nicely. So I've just got to go around this side. Alright, so your male part of your tank inlet is going to go up there through the hole. So all you do is get a big piece of wire, put some sort of a loop on it, thread it through so it can't fall off. Then I'll get up through the inspection hole of the tank, I'll push this through, and then when you pull that through, that'll come through the hole, and then you can get the female part of the thread and thread it on there, and then just push that back up and grab hold of it, and that's how you get your inlet into your tank.
So it's got that wire that's sticking out there now. I know it's a bit hard to see because it's all black on black, but then you can just thread that on. I think the most annoying part is having to move your ladder all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty well.
This line is already filling up with water. He's already connected it. So that's a good sign. Considering it's not even that windy today, but we've got enough for the windmill to just cruise along. But before that wasn't really punching out much water at all, if any. And now we've got enough flow. Ooh.
Might not be big enough.
I like it. It's a tight squeeze. Bacon,
Put it on that thing.
We have water. Now the valve is fixed in the windmill and the tank is all hooked up. The next step is getting the rest of the water lines in. So Tim gets stuck into it and he uses the trenching tool on the digger while we have this. This is on loan from a friend, so we're just trying to smash out the jobs while we've got it available to us. We're very grateful and yeah, very lucky. So this is how we went. Come out and see what Tim's been up to, because I did a bit of cooking yesterday and I've just been doing like laundry this morning because we've got a slight gap in the weather. So let's see how much of this irrigation he's got done. I'm also just super proud of the fact that we're actually getting it done and it hasn't been pushed down the priority list. We never got the irrigation done at the old house for the garden, so we were like, this needs to be done this time. Hey, how you getting on?
Good, other than the leaky valve.
The one that was on the tank originally?
Yeah.
That sucks. But then we've got time to replace that, don't we? They're expensive, those valves, aren't they? Those bigger ones?
About $40, 45
yeah, that
bucks
seems
or
crazy
something.
to me.
Yeah, that's alright. I'll just be able to disconnect it here and here and put a new one on.
Yeah. Well, we have a tap. How much water's in the tank now? Although the windmill's not. Oh, I should show the camera.
About 3
That's
inches.
not too bad, but I mean, it's not windy at all today. As you can see, the windmill's completely stuck. This looks really good. I'll show you guys this way. It's a bit easier to see. So we've got all of the lines coming off where the garden beds will be, and he has connected the lines ready to hook into dripper lines. They'll tee off into 2, and we'll get 2 rows out of each one. Looks great. We just need to get the garden done. It's on the list. On our spring list. The chickens are absolutely loving where all the trenches are. They just wander down and pick out all the worms. Hey, Angel. Are we backfilling these trenches today?
Yeah, maybe this afternoon. They're a little bit wet.
Yeah.
It's a little bit muddy, so if it doesn't rain, I'll probably do it last thing today.
Yeah.
So irrigation's all done. I'm going to have to replace that valve sooner rather than later before the tank fills up, because I'm going to drop a lot of the water.
Oh, when you do it.
When I do it.
Oh, bollocks.
And the higher it is, the more pressure it is,
of
so the
course,
harder it is to hold the water in.
Oh, that sucks.
I can disconnect and someone can hold the the pipe coming down, but anyway, I'll have to do that sooner rather than later.
Fabulous. There's always something.
Yeah.
That's all right. Bunnings Wi-Fi is really fast.
Go to Bunnings 4 days in a row.
Oh, please. The goal was to not go to the supermarket, like to town, because it's an hour round trip without even shopping. And we were like, what, we'll go fortnightly? That was our original idea. And yeah, we've been 3 days in a row because of fittings being in wrong boxes and us not double checking and just kind of like, yeah, not being onto it, but that's okay.
Well.
That's true. We've got a bit on our plate, so.
Yeah.
So what now? What's the plan, Stan?
I need to do the barbed wire on the fence now that we've got that, and I need to hook up the tap inside.
Yes!
But I can't do the tap
Without the valve?
well, I can't run the tap without the valve. So
Well, maybe when we, maybe we'll open that up, fill up our 20-litre tubs. I don't know. So we can get this bore water is pristine. It's really lovely, like spring water. And so so Tim's actually fed that. That's what all these trenches are, like to head that way. And there's more going towards the house. So we can have a new tap put in for spring water, basically. I mean, it's bore water, but let's be real.
yeah,
It is spring water. It's lovely.
runs from the spring, the underground spring here.
Yeah, we're very lucky. Okay. Do you need a hand with the barbed wire? That tool's been awesome. I mean, it's a bit dicky with barb, but oh, you can't even see the magnificent job we've done.
Yep, there you go, walk the line.
Walk the line.
Walk the line, make sure it's not connected. Hooked up anywhere.
Yeah. All right. Another job done. It is good to see the fence finished. We're really happy with that. So we're going to leave it here, but thanks for joining us, guys. Have a ripper weekend. See ya.